Hey, Ill Girl 11. I don't know if you know how I do, but I'm gonna have to do you like I did They Forgot My Salad in the Erykah Badu video. Are you subscribed to this channel while I'm about to do your request? Now, I want to start off by saying that this is my first time listening to this artist. So this was my first time listening to this particular song in general, because I haven't heard of the artist before. I mean, I ain't gonna say I never heard of the artist before, because I do remember seeing the name with Erykah Badu, but I've never taken the time to actually check her out. And I don't remember anyone else ever talking about her. None of my friends, family members, not online, seeing any videos about her, anything like that on her or her music. So I did come up with 3 different blackout poems for this song, which is a great sign. You know, this was a good song choice, like you said in your comment, and the poems turned out pretty good as well. I will say that I did struggle a bit though, and I had to come back to it after a whole day. So from these lyrics, some of the things that stood out to me right away was in the streets. I was like, all right, I can start something out with mentally, like mentally I'm here, or mentally I'm there, mentally I'm somewhere, mentally this is what's going on. So I was like, all right, maybe that could be what the poem will be about. So mentally was one of the words I put on the list. This right here, like hand, so I don't know who that is either. So okay, when I was reading these lyrics, there's a lot of like names and things like that I've never heard of before, and I don't know if it's something that I should know or I should have heard of before. You know, sometimes they be like, oh, you don't know about that, or oh, you don't like that, your black card need to be revoked. So I don't know if it's one of those situations, but again, like I said, I haven't heard anybody else, like any of my friends or family members, ever talking about, you know, any of this. So I don't know, I was gonna use just the soul part of it, and so I was like, okay, maybe I could do mentally something. And then I started thinking about, okay, well, another version, I could start out with something about my soul. So I can say something about my soul. And then I also see this right here where it says with the offbeat flow. So offbeat, off flow, that also stood out to me. After midnight on the weekend, that was another line that stood out to me. I didn't know where I was going to put that in, but it was something else that stood out to me. So once I started to see these repeated lines, that's when I was like, okay, this is going to be a little bit tougher, because once you go down, you get to this last part right here, and it's a lot of like, you know, the tough crew rock on, DJ Rand got a rock on, Power 99 need a rock on. It was just like, it's like kind of listing out things. And then all the way at the bottom, the roots. I really honestly thought I would only be able to get the 1 blackout poem out of this, maybe two out of this one. So 3 is it exceeds my expectations, and I am excited about that. I'm not gonna say if any of these are like my favorites or not, because I'm still kind of undecided on that. I do like how they turned out, but still kind of on the fence of, oh my gosh, I really love this, or, you know, it's all right. But let's get into the readings. For this first one, of course, I had a line where I was like, you know, it could be either or. So I'm going to just read it both ways. My peoples used imagination like a lady in 3D. It's cosmic. The first one out. Oh, wait a minute. It's cosmic. The first out was the rebels. In the streets, they go with butters. You know, gotta rock the roots. My peoples used imagination like a lady after the break. It's cosmic. The first out was the rebels. In the streets, they go with butters. You know, gotta rock the roots. Like a lady in 3D. So a lady's belly poking out, or like a lady after the break, a lady after her water breaks. And then it's cosmic. The first out was the rebels. You can take that however you want it. So going back to the using the imagination like a woman giving birth. So, you know, this creation or whatever this thing is that came from the imagination that was nurtured and, you know, grew, and now it's time to finally deliver. It may have been seen as rebellious to others. It may not have been, you know, the norm. You know, these rebels, they get out into the streets with their butters, because they got to rock their roots. So they out in the streets, living in their truth. They're going to be using their imagination. You can look at it that way, or you can look at it as whatever this thing was that was being birthed. Something was born, and now something else is being born from that thing. Another idea came from that first initial idea. That's what this first poem is. So gotta rock the roots. That can be two different ways too. Like, they're rocking their roots, their natural hair. Maybe they have it locked up, or their grandmothers, grandfathers, and things like that. It's like the generation to generation. I hate when I'm trying to explain something. If I was just trying to write this down first and then read what I wrote down, it would sound a lot better. But just trying to say stuff off the top of my head, be like, Mentally off flow with steady delay. Digging in the crates, the ruggedness. Back to back, the battle to power on. Back to back of this constant hamster wheel of being off. Like you're going, you're using up your energy, you're going, but you're really not going anywhere. It's like you're just moving in this circle on a hamster wheel. Off flow, so trying to search for something else to, cling on to or sample from to get you back going. So it's like a constant battle to get yourself up and going, a constant battle to get yourself on track and stay on track. Okay, and now for the third one. Now this third one, I don't know how I feel about it. Part of me feel like it's my least favorite out of the three, but then another part of me feels like it's pretty good. Remember the breeze from the Jeeps? In the streets with divine beings, the sound of hip-hop on the boom box, lyrical rhyming, hypnotic star, go on, rock on. Okay, I don't know. After I just read it, now I feel like, okay, that's not my least favorite. Once I read it out loud, it actually sounds pretty good. I actually felt like I was on stage or preparing to be on stage to read this at an open mic event. I think that was pretty good. If I was able to add more to it, if I had more to work with from the lyrics, I think this would have probably been upper in one of my tops. As far as my blackout poems, one of my top blackout poems. I'm gonna go ahead and give that one give that one some snaps. Let me know what your favorite one was out of all three of the versions that I came up with. Let me know if any of them, you wasn't feeling at all. Let me know if you know these people she talking about in this song, or let me know if you know her, Bahamadia. Am I, my card need to be revoked because I don't know who this is. I don't know who these people are in these lyrics. Is that the case? Let me know. And also, if you got any song suggestions, let me know down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Check out my other blackout poems as well if you haven't already. And if you have, I do have a whole playlist full of my original poems and songs. So you can check those out too. See you in the next one.